What caused thousands of American soldiers to break and flee in terror before a smaller British force during the Revolutionary War? In 1777, the British defeat at the Battle of Saratoga marked a pivotal shift in the dynamics of the American Revolutionary War. The Saratoga campaign proved to be a turning point. It convinced France that the American colonies had a viable chance at defeating Britain. Consequently, France formally entered the war in support of the American cause, soon followed by Spain.
It would have been a problem so calm.
With the war in the northern colonies reaching a stalemate, the British High Command re-evaluated their strategy. Seeking new momentum, they turned once more to their southern strategy.
A renewed campaign focused on the southern colonies. The plan was ambitious.
British regular forces would move into the south and link up with loyalist militias. British commanders believed that regaining the southern colonies would not only restore crucial economic resources,
but also break the morale of the rebellion by demonstrating the futility of resistance.
In May 1780, Sir Henry Clinton launched a siege against Charleston. After nearly 6 weeks of sustained pressure, Major General Benjamin Lincoln surrendered to the British. This marked one of the most devastating defeats for the American forces in the Revolutionary War up to that time. British forces subsequently turned their attention to the South Carolina backcountry. The Battle of Waxhaws in late May 1780 resulted in an overwhelming British victory.
British confidence in their southern strategy grew.
On the 5th of June 1780, Sir Henry Clinton departed for New York.
Before leaving, he delegated command to Lord Cornwallis.
Lord Cornwallis, a command is yours. I accept. We will hold the line.
Assigning him the task of pacifying the remaining rebellious areas of the state. The remaining Patriot resistance in South Carolina was made up of militia forces. General Washington dispatched Continental Army regiments from the Maryland and Delaware lines.
Under my temporary command, you will maintain discipline and unity. Our cause, the victory, is with our grasp.
They reached Buffalo Ford on the Deep River about 30 miles south of Greensboro by July. Soon after, Horatio Gates, celebrated as the hero of Saratoga, arrived at the camp on July 25th to assume command.
We march directly toward Camden. Sir, the men are not ready. The risks are too great, General. The march begins now!
Williams observed that the terrain was naturally barren and that the troops had been facing food shortages. On August 7th, Gates's forces were reinforced by 2,100 North Carolina militiamen under General Richard Caswell.
Virginia militia, join the line! March steady!
Shortly afterward, 700 Virginia militiamen led them. The American army swelled to nearly 4,000 men and was supported by 8 artillery pieces. Marched from Charleston to Camden on August 13th with a force of 2,300 men. Gates formed up before first light. On his left flank, he placed Caswell's 1,800 North Carolina militia. To the left of them were Stevens' 700 Virginians, and behind the Virginians were 120 men of Armand's Legion. In total, there were 900 Continental soldiers on the field. Gates deployed 7 cannons along the front. Cornwallis commanded a force of approximately 2,300 men. Among his troops was the seasoned Tarleton's Legion. He organized his army into 2 brigades. On the right, Lieutenant Colonel. In reserve, Cornwallis positioned 2 battalions at the foot, along with Tarleton's cavalry. The American left wing immediately collapsed as the Virginians and then the North Carolinians fled. Rawdon's troops advanced in 2 charges, but heavy fire repulsed his regiments. The Continental troops then launched a counterattack which came close to breaking Rawdon's line. Which began to falter.
Hold the line! Steady, men! Fall back, run!
Cornwallis rode to his left flank and steadied Rawdon's men.
Steady, men! Hold your ground! Aye, sir!
Webster and his men moved to the left of the Americans, cutting them off from the side.
with the British closing in on three sides.
Cornwallis ordered Tarleton's cavalry to charge into the rear of the Continental line. The cavalry charge broke up the formation of the Continental troops, who finally broke and fled. Tarleton's cavalry pursued and harried the retreating Continental troops
for some 22 miles before drawing rein.
After just 1 hour of combat, the American troops had been utterly defeated,
suffering over 1,000 casualties. The British also took about 1,000 prisoners. The British casualties were 68 killed, 245 wounded, and 11 missing. General Gates fled the battlefield and retreated hundreds of miles to North Carolina, tarnishing his reputation and effectively ending his military career. The defeat at Camden underscored the dangers of relying heavily on untrained militia forces and demonstrated the effectiveness of British regulars in coordinated engagements. Despite the setback, the loss at Camden ultimately led to positive changes for the American cause. The Continental Congress soon replaced Gates with General Nathanael Greene.
Officers, I am generify our position immediately.
Greene adopted a more flexible and guerrilla-based approach, contributing to the eventual American victory at Yorktown in 1781. If this dramatic recreation of the Battle of Camden gripped you, like and subscribe for more Total War battles, and comment your thoughts on Gates' fateful decisions.